Welcome back to Actually I Can. I am your host, Katie Ripp. If you're new here, this is a place where we are burning down the old business rules that were really never meant for us women in the first place, and we're writing new ones that actually fit the lives we're building now. So we've already talked about the grind or die rule, the play small rule, the don't talk about money rule, and the keep it impersonal rule. If you've missed any of those, you can go back to this season and start from the beginning, but no need to if this is the one for you. Each one pulled on a thread on the same old story that success is something we have to chase alone. And today we're unraveling another big one. This is actually my favorite one to completely debunk. This is the competition rule. And you know it. There's not enough to go around. If someone else wins, that means you lose. We protect our turf, our clients, our ideas at all costs. We're going to be the first, be the loudest, be the best, or you get left behind. Now, these rules tell women that business is a battlefield. But here's the truth. This rule was written to keep us divided. Because when women compete, we stay small. But when we collaborate, we build empires. So let's talk about what happens when you stop seeing other women as threats and start seeing them as the reason your business gets stronger. Welcome back, friends. This is Actually I Can. I'm Katie Ripp, and this is Season 2. Last season, we talked about everything and to everyone, about all the ways we're trying to build life and business on our own terms. This season, we're diving a little bit deeper into the women's playbook. We're talking about those old rules we were handed. We're going to toss them out and write new ones that actually work for us. We're talking about quitting the grind, claiming our worth, celebrating wins that actually matter, and leaning into community instead of competition. Around here, we believe that the best businesses, and lives for that matter, aren't built alone. So grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and let's go. So I have to tell you, I never really bought into the competition rule, actually. Maybe it's the small town Wisconsin in me, or maybe it's just how I'm wired, but I've always kind of believed that there's enough to go around. I don't see business like a pie with only 8 slices. I see it like a bakery where we can always make more pie. Do I still feel comparison creep in sometimes? Absolutely. I am human after all. I'll scroll and see someone else totally crushing it and think, damn, good for her. But it's never really panic, it's possibility. Her success expands the proof of what's possible for all of us. And honestly, that abundance mindset confuses people sometimes. They'll ask, why would you help the competition? And my answer is always the same, because it's the right thing to do and it always works. When we opened the wine bar, I made a decision that we were going to do it differently. We weren't going to pretend that other bars didn't exist or roll our eyes when they were busy and we weren't. We partnered with the bar next door all the time. We had games together and we always bought their food and we always gave people menus to all the bars in town and all the restaurants so they could have choices. We shared musicians and we shared customers. We hosted community nights together. When one of us ran out of something, we borrowed and we returned. It happened all the time. And I will never forget the night before a huge event when the bar next door realized that they were out of champagne for their drag queen bingo. Without even thinking, I walked over with extra from our stock. It's not like they were totally shocked, but also they were like, oh, geez, we're open and we have this event and you guys don't. And wow, thank you so much. And I said, yeah, of course, because that's what community does. And when we bought the coffee house later, that same mindset came with me. If another cafe ran out of syrup or beans, I always dropped some off. No invoice, no strings. Our local PTO organizes a back-to-school event and hires another coffee truck for the morning, and I don't get salty. I donate gift cards for their raffle, and I continue to donate to their PTO because I believe in my soul that generosity travels way further than hoarding ever will. And you know what happens when you give like that? People remember, not just customers, but staff, vendors, even competitors. They remember how you made them feel. They tell other people. That's the kind of marketing you cannot buy. Everybody remembers their first job or their first favorite local spot, their first boss who treated them like a person. I take that super seriously. These people spend their time and their energy and their money inside my dream, and I want to make them feel proud of that. Has my openness ever cost me something? Maybe. Could I have been more strategic at times? Sure. but I wouldn't trade a single relationship over an extra sale any single day. Because the truth is, the businesses and friendship that have sustained me the most weren't built on competition. They were absolutely built on connection and collaboration. The women I collaborate with, the owners down the street, the regulars who support us all, that's the heartbeat of every single thing I do. And that's the real story. I don't believe in competing for crumbs when we can bake the whole goddamn cake together. And even though I don't live by it, I can see how deeply the competition rule is ingrained in so many women I work with. It sneaks in quietly, maybe comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Who can raise their hand to that? Or hesitating to share an idea because you're scared it will be copied. And very likely it probably will be. Or downplaying your wins so you don't make others feel uncomfortable or less than. That's not your responsibility. Holding back from collaborations because you think you need to own your audience. Underneath all of that is the same myth, that there's not enough to go around. And when you live in that story, your creativity starts to shrink. Collaboration stops feeling safe, and you end up exhausted and isolated and wondering why it feels so hard. Scarcity is the oldest control tactic in the book. If we're too busy competing, we'll never collaborate. And if we never collaborate, we'll never build power together. Generosity is the antidote to that. When I drop off syrup for another coffee house or cheer for a woman launching her first course, I'm not losing anything. I'm planting seeds. And those seeds are trust and reciprocity and community that grow bigger than any single business. When women share resources, space, staff, ideas, audiences, the ripple effect of that is massive. We don't dilute our success, we multiply it. And that's not kumbaya talk. Welcome to The Grove. This is where women like us grow together. This is not just another Facebook group or course you'll never finish. The Grove is a business and life community for women who are done trying to do it alone. Inside The Grove, you're going to find weekly Female Founders Collective meetups, which are always free, study hall co-working sessions to actually get those things done, money monthly meetings and workshops with guest experts, and a private community that feels like a built-in support squad. This is where strategy meets soul, where you can talk about invoices and imposter syndrome in the same breath, where you'll be seen and heard and cheered on every step of the way. If you've been waiting for a sign to plug into a community that actually gets it, this is it. Join The Grove today and start building your business and your life in alignment. That is solid strategy. So here's the new rule. Build a better sisterhood. We don't hoard, we don't hide, and we don't hustle alone. We link arms and share ideas and create things together that would never exist in isolation. Building a better sisterhood means celebrating women doing what you want to do, because their success shines a light on what's possible. It means amplifying instead of envying and collaborating instead of competing. And because you know I love a good tangible idea, let's talk about what that can actually look like. Collaborations that go beyond, let's tag each other on Instagram, which I do love, and I do share stories a lot and tag people, and I love to have other people follow them. But this goes a little bit beyond that, and these are real life examples, ideas that I would give to clients of mine. So here's a few that I've seen work beautifully. Number one, maybe you're a photographer. Team up with a stylist or a makeup artist and a copywriter for a brand mini marathon. Each participant gets updated headshots, copy tweaks, and styling tips in one day. Everybody promotes together, everyone grows. Now, this is actually one of my own events. It's called Co-Create and Connect. It's about to go off on October 17th. If you're listening to this and you're in the Madison area, please come on over. But this is exactly what we're doing. We have a photographer. We have a makeup artist. We have a hairstylist. We have myself who's coming in and doing a little bit of coaching and a keynote. And we have a social media strategist that is going to help everybody with a reel or two. Here's another one, possibly for florists and bakers. Create a bloom and bake pop-up. Bouquets and pastries or baked goods sold side by side, maybe around a holiday. Or bundle gift boxes that mix blooms, sweets, and a self-care item. It's Instagram gold and community building all at once. You get to share each other's customers. How about for therapists and coaches? Host a wellness circle series. Each week features a different topic, maybe around boundaries or breath work or money mindset or relationships. Bundle your expertise so clients experience whole person healing instead of a one-off session. For retail owners, plan an after-hours sip and shop crawl. Every shop has its own theme, live music or snacks. One ticket grants access to all locations and cross-pollinates customers. Collaboration disguised as a party. Hello? How about for digital or professional service providers? Do a co-marketing swap, feature each other in newsletters, swap guest blogs, or co-create a mini bundle, like a designer, a copywriter, and a strategist offering a 1-week brand sprint. Shared audiences, shared wins. For spa or wellness professionals, host a self-care open house with neighboring businesses. Coffee tastings or mocktails or massage demos, skincare tips, maybe even a journaling or flower arranging class. It turns your industry into an experience. And honestly, those are just the starting points. The best collaborations are the ones you dream up over coffee with someone who shares your values. And the real magic happens when you ask, how can we both win, instead of who gets there first? Because here's the truth, there is room for all of us. The more women who rise, the easier it becomes for the next woman to climb. Here's your challenge for this week. Reach out to one woman in your orbit and start a conversation about a collaboration. It doesn't have to be perfect or polished, just start. Maybe it's co-hosting a live, or swapping newsletters, or creating a bundle, or simply sharing each other in their stories. The point is to connect. Because when we move from competition to collaboration, you'll notice something will shift. Your energy gets lighter, your creativity comes back, and suddenly business feels fun again. The competition rule has told women for generations that we're rivals. The new rule, build a better sisterhood. If this episode resonated, go check out the full blog post. It's linked in the show notes. And if you know a woman who's stuck in comparison or scarcity, send this episode her way. And don't forget, you can join my email list to get every rule delivered straight to your inbox, plus behind-the-scenes updates as this series becomes a book. Thanks for being here today, and I'll see you next week when we tackle the next old rule, follow the blueprint, and why there's no one-size-fits-all in business. That's it for today's episode of #ActuallyICan. If something in this conversation hit home today, send it to a friend who's writing her own playbook too. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's next. And if you want a community where these conversations turn into actual support, come hang out with us in the Grove. The link's in the show notes. Until next time, keep rewriting those rules, keep celebrating your wins, and keep reminding yourself, actually, you can.